Hail, adventurers! Welcome back to the Wyvern's Lair. I am DM Wyvern, returning to the grand adventure that is Pathfinder Kingmaker Imperial Edition. Last we left off, we defeated the Stag Lord and paved the way for our ascension to the barony of the Stolen Lands. I'm looking forward to resuming our escapades in Pathfinder Kingmaker shortly. Let me go ahead and greet all the adventurers we have here at the beginning of the latest tale here at the Wyvern's Lair. We're joined this evening by Wiz Guar, saying, I am not late this time. You are right on time, my good friend. Drake of the Wyvern's Lair. Wiz, always good to have you here. Let's go. Let's not delay any further. My schedule these days is something else, but I find gaming therapeutic. I only game when I stream, and it's a great way for me to sort of just take away, the concerns of the day and have fun with friends in great games like Pathfinder Kingmaker. So we're going to probably stream for an hour and a half this evening. I do have work early tomorrow. I want to make sure I get enough rest not to be, a total zombie once I get back to the grind here. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and clean up here in Pathfinder Kingmaker. Wiz Guar, how are you this evening, my good friend? What are you up to? How was your day?
Done and done.
Great bracelet, beautiful piece of jewelry, some gold coins, and potion of Shield of Faith. Good stuff. We'll take it. We're terribly encumbered right now, which is the reason why our party is moving so slowly. Mirror image. Spell strike. Yes, the owlbear that we freed that didn't help us one bit in the combat against the Stag Lord. Fortunately, we did not need their aid. Wiz says, I'm good. Quiet day. That is indeed a good day, Wiz Guar. Glad to hear it.
How curious.
Found something here. We got a golden trinket, a silver spoon, artificial flower, and some gold coins. Grab all that good stuff. We are looting what we can from the Stag Lord's lair before heading back to, I think, where are we going? Let's see. Riverbed Nightmare. So, kill the Stag Lord, then speak with Nettle. Okay. Improve your worth. Oh, we've been doing that. Oh, we got to go to Oleg. Okay. Wiz says, what is your profession that's so busy these days? That's a great question, Wiz. I kind of want to keep that private for the time being. I still am involved in my career that's sort of taken up the last 2 years of my life, but it is not exactly easy times, let's put it that way.
I won't be halted.
Not easy times at all. So that's the reason why I've been working very long hours, and why basically I haven't been able to devote the time and attention I'd like to the channel. Plans that I had for it this year have kind of just been put off basically by what's happening in the background in my real life. Let me just say that I'm very happy for Wolfheart having been able to get out of landscaping and get the content creation full time. It wasn't easy to do that. Man, would I love to just play games for a living. How about yourself? You said it was a quiet day. Did you spend it with family or friends, or basically you just spend it with your own company, doing exactly what you want when you want? They whiz.
I lead. You follow.
Oh, I'm so excited to be back in game. I love playing this game so much. Garrus, a.k.a. Lizard Flame 1, joining us out there from beautiful North Dakota. Good to have you here, Garrus. It's a quiet evening. We got They Whiz here. You. It's basically all we need. Oh my goodness, how do we zone out? Area exit. I am trying to leave. Let me out. Oh, there we go. Let's too zoomed in. Amiri. Amiri has been respected to a two-handed fighter here. All right, let's not delay any further. Let's head back to Oleg's. Travel will take 1 day and 16 hours. Off we go. Garrus, how was your Memorial Day? You've been spotted by enemies. Random encounter.
I'm not afraid.
Not afraid at all. Who are we up against? The undead, it seems. Okie dokes. Red Skeleton Elite of all things. Interesting. Has power attack. It's confusing. It's a second level fighter. Oh, and there's I didn't know that there's that flavor text to these things. Red Skeleton Elite. Skeletons are the animated bones of the dead brought to unlife through foul magic. While most skeletons are mindless automatons, they still possess an evil cunning imparted to them by their animating force. A cunning that allows them to wield weapons and armor. Okay, we're up with DM Wyvern. I cannot reach. Let's go ahead and grow claws. And we can advance a little bit. And can we cast anything? We can cast shield. That was my turn there. We're up with Jathal, who cannot charge, unfortunately. Let's advance like so with Jathal, and then we'll trigger Divine Favor. Regengar's up. We could get next to Jathal here and also cast Shield. They Wiz says, I work in IT and it can get that way sometimes over here as well. Hey, that's a good space to be in. They Wiz. Are you working remotely? Just out of curiosity. Let's see. We're up with Amiri. Can I charge? Can. We're going to rage and charge. Get wrecked. 21 reduced. Wow. That's some big daddy damage right there. We can go ahead and cast Enlarge on Amiri. And with Harem, let's go ahead and cast Full Strength on Wyvern. Alright. New round is out. Let's go ahead and cast Arcane Accuracy and Shocking Grasp. They Wiz says, yep, work from home, live alone, just me and my cat. That is the dream, They Wiz. Oh my goodness. That is the dream that I basically live too. I have 2 cats. And man, oh man, do I like working remotely and not having to worry about anyone. Adventurers, please join me in welcoming GM Dragon to the Wyverns there, saying, another Wyvern stream? Absolutely. I was just telling They Wiz right at the top of the stream that right now my IRL is a little topsy-turvy, and one source of comfort for me has always been games, and I never, if I'm playing a game, I'm streaming.
Need to catch my breath.
And so, even though things are very busy these days for myself, I feel like it's important for me to take some time aside just to sort of unwind and relax and get rid of the stress of the day. So yeah, when I play a game, I am streaming it. I never play offline at this point in my life. Does it mean that I don't have a consistent schedule? It's true, but you know, this is the Wyvern's era. Consistency has never been a thing that I've been able to prove as part of the experience. GM says, I hope everything is okay IRL. Everything's fine. Nothing, you know, there's nothing nefarious happening in the background. I'm happy to say, a lot to be thankful for, but it is busy days, demanding days in many respects. Alright, we're facing off against kobolds. Throw claws, arcane enchantment because we're not messing around. And we're just going to wacky whack these things to death. Get wrecked, kobold. Here comes Wyvern. Down it goes. We're up at Jathal next. We're going to go ahead and use Judgment Justice. That's going to give us a +1 sacred bonus on all attack rolls. We're going to go ahead and charge this Alchemist Apprentice. Tough little thing. Uh-oh. It's going to hurt. Use a mutagen instead. Alright, we're up with Harem. Let's go and give Bull Strength to Regangar. Go ahead and sneak attack the Kobold Alchemist. Turn. With Regangar, we're going to go Claws. We're going to use Arcane Accuracy. And this should settle the fight. Oh wait, there's another Kobold. Kobold Sentry. Down it goes. Excellent. Telling you that burst damage. Where is that other Kobold? Let's move forward with the Miri. There it is. I cannot charge. I'm just going to go ahead and end turn. Wyvern's out. This should settle the fight, I'm hoping. I'm just going to go ahead and cast Rigid Touch to ensure distraction. How fun on a scale of 1 to 10 is Pathfinder Kingmaker? I just find this game redonkulous at how addictive it is. In some respects, it's the ultimate computer role-playing game for me because it has that handcrafted, you know, game design that we all loved from Baldur's Gate 3. Obviously, nothing close to the cinematic storytelling, but it has that sandbox element, that element that, you know, you are encouraged to explore, and the world is vast and waiting for you to discover it. That throwback to the original Baldur's Gate that you know, that I missed in Baldur's Gate 3. It does feel like a West Marches style campaign. More enemies to fight. Geo Dragon says, what class is Wyvern? I'm an Eldritch Scion. Hey, can I open this up and show you the class that I'm playing? Hopefully. Magus, Eldritch Scion. Can I come up with this thing? Description of my character, summary, abilities. And I can't get that. Aw, the biography goes away when I respec. Well, when I level up, I'll read out the flavor text for. Oh my goodness, we're facing off against. What is this thing? What is this? Forgot that you can inspect these things. Monster lizards are large enough to pose a threat to humans, and in some societies are often mistaken for dragons. Some can reach lengths of 10 feet or more and weigh 350 pounds. Alright, we're up with Octavia. Let's go ahead and cast Enlarge on the Miri. Wyvern can move forward. And let's be cheeky. Let's go ahead and... Oh my god, what did I cast? That's not what I meant to cast. Where's it going? Ouch. Rage, charge, slash. 43 damage, baby. Let's take a look at that. 3d8 plus 17. Wowzers. That respec with the Miri was French kiss. He is so much better now. Off to Oleg's.
I need to catch my breath.
Spotted enemies. We're exhausted. We're going to try to avoid. And we're going to evade. Let's go ahead and camp. Why not? Who knows what's going to happen at Oleg's? Could end up in a combat.
Is it the constant cold that makes northern barbarian brains work so slowly? Or is it that the tribes are so secluded that they've become incestuous?
I wonder too. Our old ones start drooling around 90. But you elves live for hundreds of years. How much idiocy do you save up in your heads over the ages?
Alright, hunting was successful. Camouflage was successful, and I think we were able to have an uninterrupted camp rest here. Oleg's at last. Before I enter the location, I need to make a quick phone call. I'll be right back, adventurers. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that interruption. Oleg's. Look at that journal. Stag Lord is defeated. His iron hand rules the stolen lands no longer. Quickly, let's get to the trading post and share the good news with Oleg. Fine day to you. What brings you by, says Oleg Levitin. We're going to say the Stag Lord's gone. We found his fortress and sent the villain to oblivion. Oleg looks at you with respect bordering on admiration. Good riddance. Maybe now we'll be able to actually live in the stolen lands rather than just survive it. Oleg sighs. Without a doubt, more people will flock here now. It'll surely boost trade, but all the noise they'll bring with them, well, that's none of your concern. I bet you can't wait to return to Restov and report your great victory. Stonelands are an almost wholly unsettled region in the northeastern section of the River Kingdoms, bordering the nation of Borovy and serving as a buffer between Borovy and the River Kingdoms. Traditionally the haunt of bandits and monstrous humanoids, the Stonelands are regarded as stolen by all nations along their border, even though none have ever been able to keep these realms under their control for long. And Restov is one of the two largest cities in the fertile region of Brosland in southern Borovy. Lord Mayor Iosef Salimus leads the city, which is the trade and cultural center that borders the River Kingdoms, the Shrike River, and the Stolenlands. As the birthplace of the Aldori dueling style, The city boasts several Aldori and Taldan dueling schools, which has led to the city being a favored place for young nobles to practice dueling championships. Most prominent among them is the Aldori Academy, widely regarded as the region's finest war college. Restov awaits. I plan to set off right away. Oleg says, just be sure you see Keston before you go. He was eager to discuss something with you. In the meantime, I'll gather some supplies for your journey. Come back when you're ready. Alright, speaking of the time, let's see what Keston has to say to us. Before you stands a heavy-set man with grim, determined features. His weathered face is crossed by several scars, yet they do little to mar his appearance. His gaze is heavy, but he avoids eye contact, as if afraid of unwittingly sharing whatever burden weighs so heavily upon him. Keston, I failed to capture Tartusio alive. He attacked me and was killed.
Well, this is not the best outcome, but I think it will be good enough for Jamandi. Take this as a reward for your help. I'll send word to Restov and let them consider how they might return the favor.
Alright, we received 1,000 gold and 480 experience.
Once again, I thank you for your help. I'll remain here until my men recover from their wounds. Meanwhile, we'll help guard the trading post and fight off any bandits should they return. Good luck in all your plans and endeavors.
Alright. We've leveled up. Tartusio the scoundrel turned out to be a Pitax spy. He faced our glorious leader in a battle, was roundly defeated, and met his end. So we think. Alright. It's time to claim our rightful reward. Oleg's prepared everything we need to travel to Restov. We just need to take care of any unfinished business here and tell him we're ready. Okay. We should talk to Keston about Tartusio before we depart. We can level up Wyvern. So yes, I'm playing an Eldritch Scion. Oh. Just kidding. We get the tooltip text here? No, we don't, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. Unlike typical magi, Eldritch Scions do not study tomes of magic or spend time learning to combine martial with magical skills. Rather, Eldritch Scions find that their spells and abilities come to them instinctively. Right, go next. We're going to put a point into Knowledge Arcana, which is going to set up the Dragon Disciple prestige class for us. And now we have to choose a feat for our character. Oh no, we crashed. Hold on one second. We're waiting for the game to sync here. There we go. Apologies. Alright, let's pick up where we last left off here. Back into Oleg's. I'll quickly click through until we catch up to our last point of progress here. Thank goodness for the autosave. Staglord's gone. Restov awaits. I plan to set off right away. Talk to Keston. Let's talk to Keston here. Let him know about Tartuccio.
Once again, I thank you for...
Alright. Let's go ahead and drop a save before we try leveling up. In case we crash again. Jim Dragon says the game looks a lot crisper on PC than the console I played it on. Yeah, I wouldn't be familiar with the console experience, having never checked it out myself. I'm excited for Dragon Disciple. Blood of Dragons. Okay, spell casting. Breath weapon. Yeah, exciting stuff. Anyway, off we go. Arcana. For our weapon focus. Before we got so rudely interrupted. Maybe Empower spell? Let's see. Oh, bonus Magus feat. Could choose power attack, I guess. What makes sense for us? Maybe combat casting, because we do tend to cast a lot of spells directly in combat. Meta magic, combat casting. That makes sense to us. I think so. Yeah, that looks good to me. That looks good to me. We're not going to bother with weapon focus for now, and I do want to get Arcane Strike. Alright, off we go. I'm going to choose... Let's see. We have a level 2 spell to choose from here. Alright. Acid Arrow, Bear's Endurance, Blur, Bull Strength. I guess Effortless Armor, why not? Might as well. That looks good to me. Next. Oh, hey. So we don't want to take Empower Magic. Adventurers, please join me in welcoming our good friend Break at the Wyvern's Lair, Knight of the Banhammer, Morn, one of the OGs here at the Wyvern's Lair, saying hello out there in Chicago. Good to have you here, Morn. Doing some cheeky late night Pathfinder Kingmaker, as you can see. We have combat casting selected. We can go with power attack for the fun of it. Why not? Just a little bit of extra damage for ourselves. Or do we just want to get Arcane Strike? I guess let's get Arcane Strike. Combat casting. You can tell that I'm caught here. Power attack, why not? Why not? Let's get power attack. I also want to get improved critical at some point. Let's see, how do we get that talent? Where is it? Improved critical. Base attack bonus 8. Gotcha. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's going to be our level up for our main character. There we go. Oh, hey. Where'd this come from? That's the first time I'm seeing this here. That's weird. Warren, how you doing? Okay. How many days do we have left? Oh, we'll fail in 6 days and 5 hours. Yeah, let's go. Let's go back to Rostov. Oleg. Rostov awaits. I plan to set off right away. The fog seems to be thinning, but we should wait until it burns off completely. In the meantime, I'll gather some supplies for your journey to make sure you can enjoy your trip back to Rostov.
Good work. Nice to see I haven't lost my intuition for people. Not many would have managed to set out to the stolen lands and return with the Stag Lord's head, but I knew you could handle it. Congratulations are in order. Today, you'll receive the title of Baron before the High Society of Rostov, and even Natala Sertova personally. God's bless her. Tomorrow, you'll be able to return to the stolen lands if you wish, but this time as a ruler.
Natala Sertova, sister of King Oleski, one of the most influential politicians in Barovia.
But matters of state can wait. For now, enjoy this feast in your honor. All the city leaders are here. It's a great opportunity to make some useful connections. Speaking of connections, let me introduce you to Kasil Eldori. He's my adopted son and apprentice. He's a trustworthy man. I'd like to send him with you as an envoy.
Says Jamandi Aldori. Castle Aldori, a young half-orc with impeccable poise, performs a textbook perfect bow. Morn says good, nothing much. How about you? I had to put in some work today, Morn. It was a busy day for me. I'm gonna say you already know about my encounter with Tartuccio.
Of course. Keston gave me a full report. You dealt with the scoundrel perfectly. It would be naive to think that none of your neighbors will try to stick their hands in your affairs. Especially that sly fox Iravetti.
Javandi, just what kind of game are you playing? I think I have the right to know.
Yes, you certainly have that right. But tell me, how well do you know Brevoy's history or the current political atmosphere? It won't be an easy explanation.
What role do I play in your plans?
Rostland wants to regain its independence, and we will regain it. The power the Isians hold over us is humiliating and costly. And the Sertovas won't give us our freedom without a fight. That is, unless there is some external power that can force everyone to sit down and talk. Do you see where this is going?
Isians, one of two former nations that now comprise Barovi, the pirate nation of Isia, was known and feared all along the length of the Selen River. Perched on the edge of the Lake of Mists and Veils, Isia had an unforgiving geography that forces people to be cunning and brutal in order to survive. Surtovas. House Surtova, the current ruling family of Barovi, is also the oldest Brevik noble family and the most influential. Their original holdings are the Inverines of Port Ice in northern Isia, on the shores of the Lake of Mists and Veils. The Surtovas are known as careful and cunning diplomats. Before Coral the Conqueror invaded, the Surtovas were known as pirates and raiders, and the family still has many connections with the pirates and brigands of the region, many of whom are distant relations of the Surtova clan. Their family motto is "Ours is the right." Rostland. The fertile region of Rostland is one of two nations conglomerated into the modern-day state of Barovi in northeastern Avestan. Known for its master swordsmen and proud, defiant citizenry, Rostland stands at the verge of civil war with its northern neighbor Isia, which has gained political control of the region since the disappearance of Barovi's ruling house Rargovia in 469 AR. Warren says, have you ever beat this game? I beat the DLC, and the DLC, I think it was like Varnhold's Lot. You actually had a character in that playthrough.
The stolen lands are disputed territory. Brevoy can't appropriate them without raising protests from each of the neighboring states. However, if some brave people were to found independent states on that land, it would be another matter entirely. My hope is that you and your future neighbors, Baron Hannes Drelev and Captain Maegor Varn, will become our allies. But even your neutrality would introduce a powerful counterbalance to the aggression of the noble houses. Maybe, with your help, the inevitable division of Brevoy can occur without too much pain.
Maegor Varn, one of the competitors who successfully completed Jamandi Aldori's task and received a barony as a reward. I say, what do I need to know about the history of Brevoy?
What's now called Brevoy was originally two different countries, Rostland and Isia. 200 years ago, they were stuck in constant squabbles. Then, Coral the Conqueror showed up and united the two states into one. Such diplomatic tricks are easy to manage when you have dragons at your disposal.
Adventurers, please join me in welcoming Philip to the Wyvern's Lair. Coral the Conqueror, Coral Ragorvia, or as he became to be known, Coral the Conqueror, invaded the area that would become modern-day Brevoy in 449 AR, destroying all who opposed him with the aid of fire-breathing dragons. Coral disappeared around 509 AR, leaving his descendants to rule Barovi from the Dragonscale throne at the Ruby Fortress in New Stepton for exactly 200 years from his conquest. Every member of the noble house disappeared in 469 AR.
The so-called noble houses of Brevoy, mainly Surtova, Orlovsky, and Lebeda, once ruled over Isia. We, the Aldori, ruled Rostland. The royal house Rogarvia, founded by Coral the Conqueror, forced us into obedience. But 200 years isn't long enough to make peace with such a troubled history. Even 2,000 years wouldn't be enough for us to accept Isian rule. Brevoy is a country held together by a thread, and that thread grows ever weaker.
Orlovsky. House Orlovsky controls northeastern Brevoy from Eagle's Watch on Mount Veshka. They tried to rise above petty political maneuvers. Staunch allies of the now disappeared House Ragorvia, this has landed them in a prickly situation. If Lord Pol Orlovsky chooses to rebel against Nolusky Sortova, they could potentially align with House Garrus and House Medved. These three houses could disrupt supply and travel routes between House Sertova's two power bases, Port Ice and New Stepston. The house's motto is High Above. Levada. House Levada is based to the southwest of Lake Rekal in Borovi, controlling the plains and significant portions of the lake's shipping. They are considered to be the Brevik noble family that epitomizes Rosland, having significant Taldan blood, an appreciation for fine things, and a love of sword fighting. The family motto is success through grace. What do I need to know about the current political atmosphere?
We, the Aldori and the great noble houses, spent 200 years under the rule of invaders, the Royal House Rogarvia. We plotted, we schemed, we stabbed each other in the back, but open confrontation was out of the question. But a few years ago, House Rogarvia disappeared. No one knows how or why, but one day, their manors were just empty, and the force that held Brevoy together, that kept us from a bloody feud, ceased to be. Brevoy is currently ruled by the House Sertova, the former kings of Issia, but their power pales in comparison to that of House Rogarvia when they were here. So now Sertova and Aldori stand facing each other, staring each other in the eye, waiting for the other to draw their sword. It's an untenable situation. No one wants a civil war that would drown Brevoy in blood, but peace between us is also out of the question.
Don't the Sword Lords have any other foreign allies capable of playing this role?
We hope to get some help from the Myvani Aldori, the descendants of the Sword Lords who have fled from Coral's rage to build a new nation in the south. But the Issians know this well, and are doing everything they can to deny us this help. I won't go into details, but if my intelligence is correct, if a civil war starts in Brevoy, Myvon will be too occupied with its own inner troubles to interfere.
The Sword Lords, the Aldori Sword Lords, arose when famed swordsman Baron Syrian Aldori agreed to train a select group of pupils in his dueling techniques. They ruled Rosslyn for generations, each as prickly and impulsive as the Order's founder. Though they are considered some of the finest sword fighters in the Inner Sea region, they are also obsessed with personal standing and honor. In Mivone is one of the more stable of the River Kingdoms. It began as a refuge for the Aldori Sword Lords who fled Rosslyn during the rule of Coral the Conqueror. Many Sword Lords settled here in Mivon, bringing with them the experience and knowledge of the ancient discipline of the Sword Lords. Warriors from as far away as Garund make pilgrimages to Mivon to study their secrets. To earn the right to stay, the applicant must pass a series of increasingly difficult duels. Alright. What part does Restov play in this game?
Restov is a free city, proud of its independence from everyone, including the Aldori Sword Lords. But when it comes to Rostland's liberation, our goals align. This whole plan is our joint creation with Lord Mayor Yosef Selimius.
That's Yosef Selimius. If Natalia is already here, why did she let you grant me the title?
Actually, she could still intervene and disrupt the proceedings. But she's a Sertova. Their games are always complex and multi-layered. They're always looking for ways to turn defeat into victory. If she's decided to allow you to become a baron, it means she already has some idea of how she can turn it to her benefit. Let's consider how she could do so. Maybe she understands that Rostland will inevitably separate and she doesn't want a war. In that case, new states in the Stolen Lands give the Issians a reason to sit down and talk without losing face. But that's an optimistic view, and truth be told, it doesn't quite match up with what we've come to expect from the Sertovas. The more likely scenario is that Natala wants to win you over to her side. If war breaks out and at least one of you stabs us in the back, Rostland will be surrounded by enemies. That might be enough to bring about our downfall. But you would fall first, and your newly formed states would be left in ruin. The Issians always like to have someone around to pull their chestnuts out of the fire for them. A piece of friendly advice? Don't do business with House Sertovas, no matter what promises they make you. Any deal with the noble houses is a deal with devils.
What happens next?
How should I know? We're in the middle of a big game. And today, you move from being merely a piece on the board to being one of the players.
Thank you for the explanation.
I hope you have a better understanding of what's at stake.
I don't need an envoy.
Don't think I'm trying to impose a nanny or a spy on you. We're neighbors now. You'll need someone knowledgeable about Brevoy's politics to act as an ambassador to your court. If you don't like Casil, you're free to choose someone else, but I won't be able to vouch for the loyalty or trustworthiness of another envoy.
Thank you. I'm going to speak with the guests.
Enjoy your evening. When you're ready for the official part, come to me.
Right. Noble welcome. The hero deserves a reward for his feat, Baron's title. All the high society of Restov are gathered to witness the ceremony. Even Natalia Sertova honored the celebration with her presence, although she seemed almost ready to intervene. What could it be that so vexes the nobility? A mystery. Perhaps Wyvern will be able to understand it, like he's become one. Mingle with the guests. A high society reception is always excellent entertainment. You can drink plenty of expensive wine and stuff yourself in tiny sandwiches on sticks. Or you can skip the time wasted in gluttony and make a few useful connections. All right. Speaking of guests, let's talk to Lander here. A handsome, well-dressed young man of about 17 years old looks at you with a polite smile. So, you're the famous slayer of the Stag Lord's gang, soon to be a baron. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Lander. Just Lander. No last name. No title. Well, let's just say I'm here incognito. Under my circumstances, it's wise to keep one's lineage to oneself. Truth be told, that's precisely what I wanted to speak with you about. You see, I am an heir to one of Barovi's noble houses. I won't say which, but believe me, the newly appointed baron with no connections would do well to have a friend like me. I traveled the country in secret, without servants, so I could see it for myself. Not from a carriage window, but face to face with the people. My family would never approve, of course, but then I never asked. I need to know Barovi if I'm going to rule a part of it someday. I know Jamandi wants to impose her stepson on you as an emissary of Barovi. Refuse. Take me instead. Don't look at my age. While they may have trained this half-orc to swing a sword, I have been training to rule since I was a child. I'll be of far greater use to you, both now and in the future, after I have a firm position in my family. I'm going to say, are you from Restovok nobility? Oh no, I'm not from here. Just visiting, you could say. I wanted to see for myself the heroes who managed to conquer the frontier lands, and the Lord Mayor was kind enough to invite me to this wonderful party. Alright. Please tell me again what you're doing here. He's already said that. Tell me once more what you want from me. Alright. I'll consider your proposal. Lander says, yes, do so carefully. Philip says, just got done with some writing and math, time to chill. Welcome, Philip. Thank you for deciding to unwind with us. Theywiz Guar says, nice chill stream here. Appreciate that, Theywiz. Talk to the guests. So it was you who dealt with the Stag Lord. Allow me to shake your hand. It's nice to see the beginning of a future noble family. Hiram says, feast in times of pestilence. A ludicrous attempt to sink into reverie, to digress from contemplating one's own insignificance. Oh, these young heroes. Such bravery, such spirit. Why, I remember when I was your age. Hannes Drelev. This man's gorgeous clothes hide rippling muscles beneath them. He looks past your ear, obviously bored. Baron Hannes Drelev, he says offhandedly, emphasizing the word Baron. And you must be the Stag Lord Butcher. I'm sorry, I quite forgot your name. But you took out the Stag Lord and his gang. And so Sword Lord Jamandi is granting you permission to take his place, right? Well, congratulations. My lands lie to the west of yours. I suppose we're neighbors now. Yes, I defeated the Stag Lord. Pray tell, what did you do to deserve your new dominion? A smirk appears in the Baron's face. I don't need to deserve or prove anything. Countless generations of my glorious ancestors have done so for me. If I had a slightly bigger army, Sword Lord Jamandi would have simply given all of the Stonelands to me. Alas, I don't have so many soldiers at my disposal. So she had to urgently make barons of the likes of you and Varn. So you have no army, no special merits. You were just given land for being pretty. Hannah says, under other circumstances, I'd have you whipped for such words. Now, let's not ruin Lady Aldori's celebration. You want so badly to measure merits? You can do so another time. Not very polite for a nobleman. Politeness must be deserved, says Hannes. Hannes, not even deigning to reply, Baron Drelev turns around and looks away. Octavia? Try the eclairs, they're delicious. We got Regunga. Haha, to victory, to freedom. Bottoms up, yes. We got Zvanki Keeg, handsome man with a weather-beaten face. Grasp your hand tightly in his rough, calloused palms. Unlike the rest of the guests in their festive clothes, he wears a simple robe. The only luxury you see on him is a holy symbol of a rastil made of solid gold. The other guests look at him with respect, some bordering on awe. Arastil, also known as the Old Deadeye and the Stag God, is one of the oldest human gods still worshipped in the Inner Sea region. It's concerned with family, farming, hunting, and trade. During the Age of Creation, Arastil was among the gods who battled Rovagug when he sought to destroy Galarian, and were eventually able to contain him in the dead vault at the planet's core. His religion dates back to before the Age of Darkness, when small farming communities and hunter-gatherers prayed to him for bountiful harvests and successful hunts. Legends claim that it was Old Deadeye himself who crafted the first bow and gifted it to humans to overcome the challenges of the world. Even as the accomplishments of civilization mount, Arastil continues to embrace and represent the simpler pleasures they pass to offer. Avansky, congratulations on your victory, he says in a deep voice. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Zvanki Keeg, High Priest of Arastil and Restov. Diplomacy 18. Bringing law into the Stonelands is a difficult endeavor. I would be grateful for any help you could spare. Failed. Our most pious aspirations are often hindered, but it is not the case that overcoming such obstacles allows us to become closer to our God. I give you my blessing, and I believe you will be able to overcome these hardships and achieve your goals. Many people in Restov venerate Arastil. They revere many gods in Restov. They pray to Avadar, patron of the cities, Farzma, gatherer of souls. There are also some rare cults. There's no denying that the Stag God has the largest congregation here, and no wonder people here lived off farming and hunting for centuries. Avadar, god of cities, law, merchants, and wealth, also called the god of walls and ditches in the Eastern Dragon Empires, is known to be a patient deity. Maintaining a strong neutral stance in his actions, he sets forth to expand civilization and order among the peoples of Galarian. Farzma, the Lady of Graves, the Mother of Souls, Grey Lady, Pharsma is the goddess of birth, death, and prophecy. She shepherds Galarian's recently departed souls to their final reward. Upon death, souls migrate via the river of souls to Pharsma's boneyard in the outer sphere, which sits atop an impossibly tall spire that pierces the astral plane. She is among the most ancient deities in the multiverse, but keeps her knowledge of the fate of all souls closely guarded. They're dressed surprisingly simply for such a festive occasion. The corner of the priest's mouth turned up in a faint smile. The nobles dress in silk and satins to stand out from the poor. The priest wears a simple robe to stand out from the nobles. It's an honor to meet you. Goodbye. Or I still keep you say something.
I won't be halted.
Guard.
Will you drink with me?
Casey. You see Cassia approaching, the tiefling you met during the battle at Jamandi Aldori's mansion. As she draws near, she places one of the cups of wine she's holding into your hand. Cassie, a tiefling girl from Kadria who helped you during the fight in Jamandi Aldori's mansion. Surprisingly, when Tartusha voiced accusations against you, she became distant and even unfriendly, refusing to take your side and join the party. I've yet to become a baron. Already it seems that someone wishes to poison me.
You insult me with such suspicions. Only a very foolish poisoner would offer a cup of death with their own hand and right here for all to see. If I wished to poison you, I'd surely do it secretly and with grace.
Cassia smiles coyly.
But jokes aside, I came to apologize. I know the words I said in our conversation with Lady Aldery might have offended you, but this was not my intention. The lessons life has dealt me were not easy. I've learned to be wary of new acquaintances, which is why I've refused to join your party. I hope you will forgive me for this weakness and for my harsh words. And I hope you will hear me out, for I have something to tell you.
Gian Dragon says, have you gotten this far before, Wyvern? Once, a long time ago, Gian Dragon. And I don't think on stream. So basically this is, when Pathfinder Kingmaker came out many, many years ago, I played past this to a certain point, but not much further. First, I will listen to what you have to say, and then I will decide what to think of your repentance.
Fair enough. Then listen. As it happens, I came across some very valuable information. What brave conqueror of these wild lands wouldn't be intrigued by news of an ancient shrine, possibly full of great treasures? A place such as this was discovered by my old friends from Kadira, and it just so happens to be located in the lands that today become rightfully yours. My friends lack the courage to enter the shrine and seek the treasure, but what will stop us? We who know the taste of battle and have been singed by the same fire.
Cassia stops, looking at you expectantly. Kadira, the westernmost satrapy of the Padishah Empire of Kalish. Kadira is a kingdom of the power of the sprawling empire at its back. Kadira is Kalesh's doorway to the inner sea region and is perhaps the single most valuable piece of real estate in Galarian. What could be better than a treasure hunt? I'm ready.
I'm sure you'd like to finally gain your official title and celebrate your victory. And I don't like noisy parties and ceremonies. Find me when you return to your dominion. I'll rent a house in your capital. We can discuss the details of our expedition there.
Cassia laughs quietly, fiddling with her cup.
So long, friend. I'll call you so today because soon enough, all you'll be hearing is, Your Grace, Your Grace, Your Grace.
Saluting you with the cup, the tiefling girl steps back and disappears in the shadows between the columns. Interesting things are happening. Cassia, a tiefling from Kadira, came to us asking for help in finding an artifact in an ancient treasury. It seems like a normal errand, so why do I feel it's more complicated than it sounds? We're to find Cassia in the capital. She's going to settle in the capital and ask the Baron to visit her to discuss the details of a future expedition to seek an artifact. The house can be found near the capital square to the right. There's Valerie. Truth be told, I'm not really comfortable here. I lost my taste for high society.
We do it my way.
You got Christiane here. These people are not just celebrating. It seems your feat has given them new hope. Amiri, the wine is alright, nice and strong, but the appetizers, barely a mouthful. Hey, there's Magar Varn, our character from the DLC. We got Lindsay. Pour up to the brim so that, oh, I must be drunk. I forgot the line. Testing Garrus. Well, Tartusio, well, scum. And how do we... maybe I've had one too many. So it was you who dealt with the stag lord. Allow me to shake your hand. Magar Varn. This man is obviously more comfortable in the battlefield than in the company of nobles. He's well built, but the expensive waistcoat he's wearing doesn't quite fit properly, as though it was borrowed. He has a few pale scars across his face. His dark hair is drawn into an unkempt ponytail with a few streaks of gray running through it. He greets you with a broad smile and a firm handshake. Let me introduce myself. I am Magar Varn, the new ruler of Dunsword, your neighbor to the east. Like you, I'm about to be a baron. Great job with the stag lord, by the way. Not everyone could exterminate a whole gang of bandits in such a small team. Magar Varn. And Dunsword, the frontier region known as Dunsword, on the easternmost side of the Stolen Lands, borders the steeps of Kazmarok. Dunsword is characterized by low, grassy plains circled by mountain ranges and is dotted with the ancient structures of lost civilizations. Long ago, a bustling empire reigned over these lands. Nowadays, all that remains of that ancient glory are crumbling ruins and the half-destroyed words of alien wisdom that are inscribed on the walls of unknown tombs. I say, how did you earn the title of Baron? Magar says, truth be told, my team and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Jamandi Aldori needed someone reliable to take and hold the territory. I'm the captain of a mercenary team. That wasn't clear. Barnling host. Have you heard of us? No? No matter. We've done work for Jamandi before. This time the task was simple. We just waltzed into the area, cleared it of the most brazen monsters, and built a small fort to hold the place. For that, barony and land to own. It's a dream job. How do you feel being a noble? Looking at his rich clothes, Varn smokes. Like a pheasant on a plate. I've killed all kinds of monsters. But this is the first time I've so strongly felt like turning away could get me eaten. He nods towards an arrogant man in the other corner of the room. See that lad? Baron Drilev? He's not like us. Who knows what generation of Baron he is? Didn't even shake my hand. You and me are like dirt beneath his boots. That's why those like us, newly made nobility, need to stick together. Otherwise, he'd take my land and yours in the blink of an eye. Nice meeting you. Farewell. Magar, goodbye. Once you've settled in, come pay us a visit. Jathaw here. They call this a feast. I'd show them some real festivities if they'd let me. All of high society is here, even Atala Sertova. There could be an assassination, a provocation, anything. Speaking of, Chandra Marevi. Ah yes, I see good old Restov hasn't changed a bit. Even the smell in the streets is the same. Natala Sertova. Natala is discussing something with an unfamiliar old lady in a low voice. Upon noticing you, she breaks into a sugary sweet smile. You were not only tough, but quick. Well, congratulations on your victory. Enjoy it while you can. Is this a threat? I would never, says Natala. I simply wish to warn you, in case you didn't fully realize, the fate that awaits you and the Baron. What do you think awaits me? Natala, nothing good, I fear. The Aldori, our dearest friends, didn't deem it necessary to inform you of their plans, I assume. You see, they're preparing to separate from Barovi. It will not be a peaceful process. They lack the strength currently, hence using this legal loophole to create some independent allies. Once the civil war breaks out, your lands will be the first to endure a strike from Barovi's forces. Perhaps they'll erect a memorial stone in an independent Restov to honor you. Well, I wouldn't count on even that, really. What would you propose? In your situation, the most reasonable course of action would be to align yourself with the lawful rulers of Barovi, the noble houses. Aldori won't dare to rebel, knowing they will immediately become entrapped. You could help Barovi avoid a civil war, while simultaneously enjoying some well-deserved peace in your lands. I believe Jamandi has already attempted to impose a guard on you as an emissary. I'm guessing her low-born stepson, the green-skinned boy Castle. It's up to you, of course, but I would recommend you a different envoy. Please meet Chandra Marevi, an experienced diplomat who's more familiar with Barovi's politics than any brawler could be. The old woman standing next to Natalia gives you a slight bow. I'd be happy to help you establish the diplomatic relations with Barovi. I'll consider your proposal. Natala Sertova. Think on it. Do not make any hasty decisions. Right. Talking to the honored guest is useful, but can also be exhausting. Isn't it time to commence the main event of the evening, receiving the Baron's title? Natala Sertova herself is present at the reception. Who is this mysterious young man named Lander? Joseph Selenis? An older man with full sideburns looks at you with interest through a golden eyeglass. Well now, if it isn't the hero of the festivities, the protege of our dear Kimandi. You pulled this off all quite cleverly. I confess, I wasn't convinced your enterprise would succeed. I even bet a bottle of my best Bataxian wine against you. But I'm happy to admit I was wrong. The Aldori have always been adept at finding new talent. I say, I don't believe you've been introduced. So it would seem, I am Iosif Selemis, or Mayor of Restov. I rule this town and the adjacent lands. As your northern neighbor, I hope we can look forward to a long and fruitful friendship. But you rule Restov. And what about the Aldori? Barovi's politics seem complex and incomprehensible to many. Here, in this part of Rosland, the spirit of the northern freedom still lives. We are loyal to the throne, of course, may the gods prolong the life of His Highness. But here, far from the dominions of the great houses, we have our own way of life. It is especially important now, after the certain events that I probably don't need to name. His Highness. King Naliska Sertova has reigned over the nation of Barovi since 4699 AR. when the entirety of the ruling house Rogovia mysteriously vanished. He succeeded King Urzin Rogovia. Prior to taking the throne, prior to taking the crown and the dragon scale throne within the Ruby Fortress in Ustetven, Sirtova ruled Port Ice, as have members of House Sirtova for more than 1,000 years. The Aldori's warlords used to rule Rostland. They are still the largest landowners and main military force in the region. It's not for nothing that Restov is called a free city. We're proud to choose the Lord Mayor from among the citizens, considered not by their lineage, but by their own merits. Say, what kind of events are you talking about? Mayor Salimius gives you a patronizing smile. Why? An aspiring politician needs to be well informed. I'm talking, of course, about the disappearance of the ruling house Rogovia. Can you imagine it? Old man Koro conquered our land 2 centuries ago. It would be a shameless lie to say that nobody wished his royal house could just disappear into thin air. But once that exact thing happened, it turned out nobody was ready for it. Poof! All over the country, every member of the royal house disappeared without a trace. Nobody knows what happened. It's a mystery, but a mystery pregnant with opportunity for everyone. How are things in Restov? I don't want to boast, but things have been going well in recent years. Trade prospers, the population grows, and the citizens are happy. Although recently, especially after the disappearance of House Rogovia, more and more troublemakers have been appearing, and people are talking about the most shocking things. But those sorts of rumors aren't worthy of your attention. It's nice meeting you. Goodbye. Please, wait a moment, says Ayose. Your young barony will need resources to establish itself, and what I've been told. You're somewhat in need of financial assistance. I can organize and supply everything you need for the construction, and spread out the cost on extremely favorable terms. I could immediately procure, let's say, 500 cartloads of building supplies. I'm sure that could give you a good start. In exchange, I would ask a small favor. Until you repay the debt in full, you simply assume the obligation of contracting building services to Restov's builder guilds. Do we have a deal? Thank you for the offer, but I can't accept it. Ayose, your choice, of course. I just figured I'd mention it. Nice meeting you. Goodbye. Yosef, the feeling is mutual, I assure you. I look forward to hearing more of your dazzling successes soon. Castle. Today is a historic day for Restov, and maybe for all of Barovia. Let's talk to Jamandi here.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. Shall we move on to the official proceedings?
Before we begin, I'd like to talk about the envoy I'll be taking with me.
My apprentice, Kasil Aldori, will go with you, won't he?
Chandra Marevi will be my envoy.
The emissary of House Sirtova? Well, perhaps it's for the best. As they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
I'm ready for the ceremony.
Excellent. Stand here. Lords and ladies, today we are here to honor 3 brave people who have done the impossible. They've tamed the stolen lands. Baron Hannes Drelev, the new master of Glenabon, Captain Mager Varn, the conqueror of Dunsword, and finally, the tamer of the Shrike Hills, who put an end to the atrocities of the Stag Lord's bandits. Step forward. On behalf of the people of the free city of Restov, I confer upon you this noble title. Rise, your grace.
victory. The Stag Lord's dead, and the capital of the new barony has been built in place of his fort. That was how the long and challenging taming of the stolen lands began.
I love the illustrated storybook format to these vignettes. We have, I guess this is meant to be a stand-in for our hero. We got Lindsay, Amiri, Octavia, Christian, and Ragongar in the background here with Jamandi Aldori presiding over ceremony. Keston, welcome, Your Grace. Keston salutes you. You can see he's a bit anxious. It seems he'd rehearsed his speech many times. Let me once again congratulate you on your victory and your new title. Lady Jamandi transferred me here. I'm at your disposal. I'm not one to bestow honors, but I want you to know I'm glad to serve you. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of our new capital's citizens. Staglord's former stronghold will soon be a thriving city. Word travels fast, and the first settlers have already arrived, with new ones approaching as we speak. While you were visiting Restov, much has been done here. Your benefactors, the Aldori, invested a great deal of resources in rebuilding the city. I stand ready to answer your questions and to show you around the most important sites. I'm going to say, where are my companions? Keston says, they're all somewhere around here, but I never kept an eye on who went where exactly. Well, I assume Tristian is with Jehode. You can always find Lindsay. Just follow the noise in the turn. Are there any citizens I should know about? Our old acquaintance Jehode is right here. Arastil's clerics normally don't like cities much, but he's eager to serve you. Also, the emissary from Barovia is here, waiting for you in the throne room. There's also this curious matter. An elf has paid us a visit. A blind elf. Desna only knows how he managed to get here. He seems a peaceful, even pleasant fellow, though naturally a little odd. But I let him stay a while. It's up to you to decide what to do with him now. That's about it, I guess. Keston scratches his head. Desna, also known as the Great Dreamer, Lady Luck, and Mother Moon, Goddess of Dreams, luck, stars, and travelers, is amongst the most ancient of deities. While her peers burdened themselves with the task of creating Galarian, she spent her time building the heavens. She knew that there would be plenty of time for her and her followers to explore the many wonders of the world later. She changed little since those earlier days, and she and her followers delight in exploring the world. What's the mood of the people here? Keston, I must admit, I've never seen anything like that my whole life. A city, a whole barony, born right in front of our eyes. The people sense the moment, and today we're feeling proud. As a rule, not too cheerful or chatty. I normally feel out of place among all the rejoicing, but today's just one of those days. I say, the main question is, where can I get a drink or three? It's time to toast my victory. Keston hesitates, a brief moment, then laughs. I'll make sure to show you the moment we enter the city. The tavern was the first business that opened. Building a city is thirsty work, and I beg your forgiveness for my behavior during your reception. I drank a little too much. It's a day for celebration. Ready to look around the city. Lead the way. Keston says, follow me, Your Grace. Greetings, Your Grace. We are, well, we're new subjects. We're selecting a site to build our house. So he's one of our colonists. It was wet near the lake and windy up here in the hill. Windy. A fine place to throw garbage at neighbors' heads, though. Ouch. It's a good thing you got rid of those monsters and bandits, Your Grace. You recognize this place, Your Grace. This is where the Stag Lord's fortress wall used to be. Not that it saved him in the end, huh? Our workers did a fine job turning this bandit den into the heart of the town. The heart of every town is its main square. We plan to hold street festivities and fairs here. Look, we already have our first vendor. Greetings, your grace, says the vendor. If you turn to the right from the square, you'll end up straight in our tavern. The tavern's ale is blessed by Caden Kalian himself, I swear. And the lady who owns it is a gem. I've heard our Baron is tall as a troll, has hair. Oh, that's all nonsense. Well, except for the part about breathing fire. All barons can breathe fire, trust me, is the guide. Oh, welcome, your grace. Glad to serve you. Your grace, those are our guards. They keep order in the city. Here's the observation platform. I hope one day your capital will grow large enough that you won't be able to see its full extent from its perch. And I can see the distant farmlands. From this outcrop. The building in front of us is your residence. That's where we'll head now. Welcome to your barony. You're about to make the unyielding stone lands a prosperous kingdom. There's a long and arduous road ahead of you. You and your advisors are going to deal with matters of national importance. Found and build up settlements, seize and develop new regions, solve pressing problems, and take advantage of good opportunities. A prosperous governor will be handsomely rewarded with support and donations from their subjects, promising alliances with other states, wealth for their treasury, many other things. Good luck in your woo, Baron. Tested. So now we reach the main chambers. This is the throne room, where you'll hold court and receive visitors. Let me draw your attention to this large map, depicting your barony and surroundings. We'll mark all important scout reports and other news worthy of your grace's attention. Having finished his speech, Tested tucks his thumbs under his belt and stands quietly. Chandra. It's good to see you, your grace. Chandra Merevi, the emissary of Natala Sratova, greets you with a brief bow. Let's dispense with the formalities and get straight to business. As emissary of the Royal House Sratova, I'm here to offer you advice and make sure you don't do anything reckless. I hope my experience in diplomacy and policy will be of some aid as you make your first steps as a ruler of the barony. Barony effects: community +6, loyalty +6, military +3, economy +3, divine +3, arcane +3, stability +3. New event: trade agreement with Sotova. Zvanki's offer, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Pillage the Temple of the Elk, or rebuild the Temple of the Elk. Difficulty level of your barony. You may change the difficulty level of your barony at any time or set it to automatic. If set to automatic, you won't have to deal with most government decisions. They'll be taken care of automatically. Your barony will never fail. However, this will also prevent you from unlocking any governance-related achievements. Chandra says, the main thing you should know is that the barony can solve some of the problems by giving orders to their representatives and advisors. But there are some things you simply can't delegate. Issues of special import, such as complicated court hearings, or serious threats to security. These will demand your personal presence at the capital. Information about these kind of events will always appear on the map. Remember, you should visit the capital personally at the beginning of each month. By tradition of Barovi and most of the river kingdoms, it is then that rulers address the day's most important issues and receive visitors. Today you should choose the candidates for the highest positions in the barony. It's not my place to offer my thoughts on this. Your clerics, Jehode and Tristan, were the first to ask for an audience. I shall leave you to your capable judgment. Be wise, and your rule shall be long and fruitful. Jehode Kavkin, Your Grace, allow me to congratulate you on receiving the title of Baron. I am confident that you will bring order to these troubled lands. Jehode stumbles slightly. Though, to be honest, this isn't exactly what we wanted to speak to you about. Tristan and I have been talking a great deal about what happened at the Temple of the Elk. It doesn't make sense to us yet, but one thing is clear. There's a powerful curse at work. It corrupted the very essence of that sacred place, steeping it with putrescence. I'm disgusted with whoever could do this. Jehode exhales loudly, catching his breath. And now there's a new woe. Christian and I believe the curse did not simply disperse of its own accord. There is a place near the capital, rumored by the locals to be cursed. Tristan and I visited this dreadful place, and we felt the same putrescence as at the Temple of the Elk. What is this place? Where is it? Christian, there is a bald hilltop not far from here to the north of the capital. Its crown is entirely barren of life. The locals believe that rituals glorifying the dark gods were held there. Back in ancient times, there is no longer any trace of such rituals, but the air around the hilltop is heavy to the point of stiffening. This place is like a rotting wound, closed but not healed. Bald hilltop has been revealed. Jehode says, and this wound will undoubtedly open again. Tristan and I felt something approaching, something ominous. The curse will soon return to plague us once more. I swear by Erastil. I also swear by Drake 67. Adventurers, please join me in welcoming our fellow adventurer and mech warrior commander extraordinaire, Drake 67. Good to have you here as we play Pathfinder Kingmaker Drake. It's not going to be much longer. I do need to go to bed soon and rest up before work the next morning. But let's go ahead and get through this. I will go there as soon as I'm able. Christian, I'd be happy to accompany you, but I would not expect to see anything new there at present. I agree with Tristan, says Jehode. We've been to this hilltop. It's barren, but filled with a dense atmosphere of unease. Well, what do you suggest? Jehode says the curse will grow in strength, and we predict it will reach the peak of its strength in about 1 month. That's when we should visit the bald hilltop and resolve this issue. Christian says for now, we can only wait and prepare. Jehode, we beg your pardon, Your Grace, for intervening with you getting the grasp of your barony. I'm sure you have even more pressing matters at hand right now.
I require rest.
The barony has 10 basic stats, each supervised by an advisor. They are as follows: population, regent; loyalty, counselor; military, general; economy, treasurer; divine, high priest; relations, grand diplomat; stability, warden; magic, magister; culture, curator; and espionage, minister. Stats increase if your governance is successful, and decrease if events don't end well or other negative factors are placed in your way. Don't let your barony stats drop to 0 or lower. This will cause your subjects to riot, and your state will begin to crumble. Each stat has certain milestones or ranks within them. Every 20 points in a stat will increase your rank. And one unlocks a corresponding advisor position for that stat. Further development of the stat and upgrades to its ranks will be possible only if you have an advisor in the relevant position. Governing your barony will require one advisor for each stat. You may appoint your companions, as well as some of the Stoneland citizens, into these advisor positions. Each of the 10 positions has at least 3 characters who are qualified to hold it. Not all of these characters will be willing to serve you right away. Some of them will need to be convinced. Appointing others will require completing an assignment for them, or rendering them some other service. Every advisor acts on their own ideology. They have their own opinions on everything that happens in your domain. Therefore, you may want to select characters whose governance philosophy is consistent with your own. Open the Advisor tab on the right side of the screen. Click on an empty slot and select a character to appoint them as an advisor. Every barony stat gains a bonus from a specific ability of the appointed advisor. The exact size of this bonus is indicated in the upper right corner of the advisor's card. Only advisors may address the problems, opportunities, and sudden events that occur in your domain and require immediate attention. Don't leave these positions vacant. The name of the barony cannot be changed later in the game. We're just going to accept it as the Stolen Lands. That's fine. Default name. Settlement map. Click on your capital icon to open the settlement map. Alright. This is Tuskdale, I guess, our capital? Enter. Constructing buildings. You may construct buildings to increase your barony stats. Each building has a cost in build points and a construction time. You may construct several buildings simultaneously. To start construction, select the building you need from the list on the right side of the screen and place it in the empty slot in the settlement. Buildings may provide special bonuses if you meet certain conditions. Most commonly, 2 buildings will stand close together to grant the bonus. Make sure you use this feature to your full benefit when planning a settlement. Some buildings can be placed only in designated spots or areas. As examples, a pier must be built on water. A mill must be built with no other buildings around it. Demolish a building to get rid of it and recover half of the resources you spent on construction. If you want to move a building, you will have to demolish the old one, gaining half the resources you spent on it, and reconstruct it in the new desired slot for half the price. You won't have to spend any extra BP, but you will have to wait for construction to finish in the new location. Alright. Let's head out. And throw down a save. Oh, assigning your advisors. Your banner requires filled advisor positions to function. Use the Advisors tab to assign advisors to their positions. Okay, let's do that. The Regent ensures subjects' complaints and concerns are heard by their ruler and serves as a link between the Baron and the people. Right. Go with Octavia. Community. You may claim new regions to expand your territory. Open the Regions tab on the right side of the screen and select the relevant project at the bottom of the screen. Claiming a region will allow you to significantly increase your barony stats and found settlements in the new lands. Here is what you must do to claim a new region. Meet special regional conditions, that is, complete a quest or meet a certain rank in one of the stats. Collect sufficient build points to claim. Find an unoccupied advisor who can take charge of the claim. As soon as you start the Kingdom project to claim the region, time will automatically speed up for the next 14 days. The time it takes for you and your advisor to claim the region. After the new territory is claimed and annexed into your domain, the boundaries of the state will change, and you will receive all the bonuses granted by the claimed region. Counselor. Chandra aims to make a profit while following the letter of the law. The counselor deals with the troubles of the common folk and helps settle land disputes and agricultural matters. This advisor ensures citizens remain loyal to the throne. General. The general is the highest ranking officer in the army of the barony and is responsible for watching the borders and protecting the realm. Let's go with Rigagangar. It's hot-headed and direct. The treasurer's duty is to keep the coffers of the barony full and ensure any gold is spent wisely. What candidates are available? High Priest. No matter what deity he serves, the High Priest strives to satisfy the spiritual needs of all citizens in the barony. Let's go with Harem. Harem favors unusual but effective solutions. Take a look at regions. Tuskwater. Projects. Plunder the temple of the Elk and rob it of all remaining treasure. Plus 100 build points prevents future restoration of the temple. Yeah, we're gonna destroy it. Choose Regongar for it. Project cost 10 build points. Requires 14 days to resolve. Start the project. Pillage the temple of the Elk. Alright. Trade agreement with Sertova. Our merchants will receive the right to establish a sizable trading post in the heart of New Stevston. Each city in the barony gains an extra plus 5 build points per week, plus 2 build points for each town, and plus 1 build point for each village. Oh, there's no available. We don't have sufficient funds for it. Wow. I don't have an objection to Rastil having a presence on my lands, I guess. Doesn't cost anything too. Go ahead and start the project. All right. Well, that was quite a lot.
I require rest.
We do require rest. And that's a great segue to calling this an episode. I enjoyed the 2 hours that we spent here. Had a little bit of combat, and of course, you know, the milestone of winning our barony stolen lands. I'm glad that you were here to witness it, adventurers. GM Dragon says this is when the game becomes a bit more complex and juggling the timing of things. Yes, and I'm looking forward to that aspect of the game for sure. GM Dragon. Kid Fox, adventurers, please join me in welcoming Kid Fox Wayne, saying hi. Just here for a few minutes, or never mind. Yeah, Kid Fox, I'm headed to bed. Good to see you here at the Wyverns there. There'll be more Kingmaker ahead, so if you enjoyed this game, drop on by next time. Greg67, thank you for coming by the late hour. Philip, thank you for dropping by too. Always good to see you. Thaywiz Guar, glad that you had a quiet day out there in your neck of the woods. This is DM Morn, of course. How can I forget Morn too? Thank you for dropping by, Morn. Always great to see you here at the Wyverns there. This is DM Wyvern playing Pathfinder Kingmaker. I look forward to seeing many of you here at the Wyverns there again very soon. Good night, everyone.